So hello everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining us for the webinar. We are delighted to welcome you today to discuss about the new procedure for communicating payroll information. So before we get started, a few particular points. If you have any question during the presentation, please feel free to ask them in the chat. I'll answer them at the end of the session, if possible. Otherwise, I can answer them by emailing you directly. The webinar will be recorded and you'll receive a link to the replay and we will share the resources in the next few days. To get started, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Nassima and I'm a payroll administrator with Arcom. Today, we are going to talk about the new procedures for collecting payroll data. So let's start the presentation. So the usual process, payroll. We will remind you that the purpose of these tools is to adapt to the new technology, to make data more reliable, to secure the payroll process, and to limit the exchange of employees' personal data by email. The two data transmission method will be input on a formatted Excel file. This table format will be adapted to your needs and will not be modifiable, or a direct entry of payroll instruction on our software portal. This process will begin for the preparation of salaries for January 2025. In case you have already sent the payroll to your payroll managers, don't worry, we will take them into account. But for those they didn't send yet the payroll information, it's better to use the new procedures. As the email sent to you before, you can choose between two methods for transmitting the payroll data. So the first method, which is very simple, will be the method of Excel file. So you have the Excel file as you can see it. It is divided into 3 blocks. Entry of pay accessories such as bonuses, you will get it in the yellow column. All the yellow column, you can enter your accessories such as bonuses, expenses, advance, commission. Then in the second the block, which is the green one, that one will be used to share with us the overtime hours. For the green one, it's the second block, and the third block, which is the blue one, the column from 16 to 31, that blocks concern the absence. So for the absence, there are 4 columns to complete. In the event of multiple absence, you will need to enter the next absence in the next blocks concerning absence. So to help you to select the right absence, you can consult the legend on the sheet number 2, which gives you the reason for absence in French. I will show you an example after. Sorry. Sorry, I have got a problem. No, method Excel file. So I will share with you the Excel file. So you can see it. It's an example here in pay one. It is in French, but here you will get all the information. This is your employee information. Here, like I show you, it is the block, all that one concerning bonuses, advances, exceptional bonus, lunch voucher, teleworking days, you have just to fill the information. For example, if I take the example of for Mrs. Pujol Julie, you can add here, I don't know, 45 for transportation. As in January, we have 22 days for the whole month. For example, if your employee works like 10 days teleworking, you can add them. Lunch voucher, also the same. She got like 20 tickets. If she has an exceptional bonus, you can add here. This is the first block. For the second block, it will show you the hours. If your employee did an extra hours paid at 25% or 50% or complementary hours for half-time work. So, and here normal hour. It depends. You can choose each column depending on on your needs. And the third block, which concern the absence. Every time you choose an absence for your employee, you have to enter the started date, the finishing date, the number of days of absence, and the motive of the absence. Here, to help you to select the correct absence, you can see here the legend as I showed it before. And here you have all the absence in French, and you have them also in English. Okay, so to help you to add them on here on the column motif absence. If, for example, your employee has two different absences, you don't have to write them down, but you have to select the other part from the block 20 from the column 20. You do the same. For example, here the date I select 16 January 2025. I select one day, 01 2025, the number of absence one, and here I will select, for example, the motif paid leave. You can copy congé payé and you put it here, congé payé. Then the same employee get another absence, for example, for 18. So you will not add it here, you will add it here. 18 January 2025 to 19 January 2025, number of days, 2 days, for example. And here the motif will be unpaid leave. Then you can select the legend congé sans solde. If you want, you can select it in French or in English. It doesn't matter, as you want, as your convenience, okay? The same thing, if this employee got another absence, you have to add it on the next block. This is how it works for the Excel file. As you can see, the Excel file will be adapted to each employee, as you don't have the same absence, you don't have the same payroll reports. Each customer have different thing to add in the payroll. So we will your payroll manager will adapt this file to your needs. Okay. So in case of if you have other absence or other things that should be added to the file, we will ask your payroll manager to add them. Okay, this is for the Excel file. And have you got question for first for the Excel file? If there is any question before to go to the second method. Okay, there is no question for the Excel file. It means everyone understand how it works. But just in case if you need to be sure about this file, you can ask your payroll manager directly. So for the second method, before going to show you the second method of transmission data, this method, the second method, will concern only the customer who speaks and read French. Can you tell me if there is participants who can read and speak French in the participant list, please? You can use the chat to respond to me, please. So there is nobody as you speak French? Okay, that's good. Okay, so in this case, I will show you the second method. I can read and speak French. Okay, that's good. Okay. So I will show you the second method. Okay. So the second method will concern especially the person who speaks French and read French, as the software is in French, and unfortunately, I'm sorry about that, we cannot put it in English. So this is why it will concern only the person who can speak French. So the direct input in our portal instead is intended for people who speak French. It is not possible to switch the portal to the English. In this case, we recommend you that you use the Excel file. To enter variable, you only need to work on the 3 tabs in yellow. Here, you have 3 tabs. The name of the first one is absence et congé. It will concern, these tabs will concern all the absence that you should add on the payroll. Variable, then the second one, the second tabs, which concern variable heure, and the third tabs, which concern account. Of course, these 3 tabs will not change, but we can personalize. For example, for variable heure, that one could be personalized for your needs. Your payroll manager will personalize it for your needs. Okay. Here, as you see, saisie de la période en cours. For example, we are here is an example, Septembre 2024, variable, the current month, the payroll data. And here you can add your payroll data directly. I will show you, of course, an example directly on the system. That one, method direct inputs. To enter variable, select cycle de paye, then variable, heure. Make sure that the current period is correct. From this tab, administrator can access the overtime complementary table. They can enter the overtime and additional hours for the company's employees. If you are not comfortable with the dispatching overtime hours according to premium rates, you can let us know the total overtime hours for each week in the comment column 32. There is a column where you could put a comment, and we will do the entry for you. Okay. Direct inputs. To enter variable, select cycle de paye, then account. Make sure that the current period is correct. From the advanced payment tab, the administrator can enter payment on accounting by clicking on Déclare un account versé. Here. Absence et congé. Here, to enter your absence, you have to go to Ajouter une absence, and you enter the date, the starting date, the end date, your employee, the employee concerned by the absence, type d'absence. You can add a detail if you want, it means comment. Then you validate the absence. Here it shows you how you can add all the information for the absence. Okay. Here, see, you choose your employee, the start date, the end date, reason of absence, c'est type d'absence, c'est raison d'absence, end of absence, the comment, if you want to add a comment, and add. You can here also add directly the documents concerning the absence. For example, for sick leave. Let me show you now directly on the software system. Here is an example of how you can see it directly from your side. Here you will get the name of your society. As I show you, you have here two tabs, variable, heure. Here you have tabs cycle de paye. You go to variable heure. For example, your employee, you see here, titre de transport, you can add 45 euros, for example. For Deschères, Marie Pascal, she had a transportation 20 euro, for example. You add the information, number of tickets, like 12 tickets. You enter. Here you can add the comments directly. And as you can see, when you fill the tabs, all this information will go directly to our internal software system. Here for the variable, for the hours. For example, Mr. Chopin did 2 extra hours, paid at 25%. Then you can add 2 here. He is, then he works like 10 hours, 50% increase. You add here 10. Of course, this columns will be updated following your uses. Okay, so here the columns will reflect only the information that you used to have in your payroll information. It will be personalized for your uses. Okay, here it's just an example, a general example. Then we go to absence congé. For example, here you have to add an absence. You click on Ajouter une absence. You select your employee. For example, I select Pilot Vincent. Type d'absence here, you can choose congé payé, CP supplémentaire, férié chômé, repos compensateur, repos forfait jour. You have different absence. Then you have here the absence concerning the family. Absence pour événement familial, for example, for paternity leave, adoption, congé de deuil, congé présence parentale. You have several. Here, for example, I choose RTT. I choose day off. Okay. I can add, for example, half a day. He used to take a day off for half a day. So I select and put here demi-journée. Journée entière, demi-journée. Okay. Then you can add here a comment. I don't know if you, for example, what you need to add here to your payroll manager. Then you validate the absence. Absence créée. If the employee has several absences, you have to do the same thing every time. This is how it works for the input directly on the software for the person who speaks French. So this is the presentation of the software. Of course, for the first time use, in case you have difficulties, you can ask your payroll manager to help you to understand how it works if needed. Okay. So this is the two data transmission information that we should start from January, as I told you before. But in case you have already sent the payroll information to your payroll manager, then we can start this procedure the next month for the person who already sent the information. For the other person, your payroll manager will send you the Excel file payroll. And as I told you before, these two processes should be followed from January, and we cannot from January and from February for all of you, and we cannot use another procedure to communicate payroll information. Only in case, of course, in case you cannot add all the information on the software or on the Excel file, you can of course communicate by email to your payroll manager. So I finished my presentation. I give you time for questions. If you have questions, I can respond to you if there is question about the two methods. Okay. So here I have normal hours switch number to be entered. Normal hours, the first question, normal hours, which number to be entered? If it's normal hours, there is nothing to do, as the normal hours already paid. Only extra hours or the hours which are paid at a normal rate without increase. Column 11 says normal hours. Is that total normal hours and add overtime? Column 11. Okay, I check. Yes, the column 11 here, it means that one, you fill it only if you have, for example, your employee, he is 5 hours a week, then he was absent like 1 day in this week, and he did only 28 hours. And in those 28 hours, he did like in 1 day, he did like 4 extra hours. Then that hours can be paid at the normal rate because he didn't work the whole week. If my explanation is not clear, let me write you an example. For example, your employee is 35 hours a week. He was absent 1 day in this week. 1 day absence, okay? And he works only 28 hours, 28 hours for this week. In this week, in those 28 hours, he did the first day. It means he works 4 days. 4 days he works. Normally he should, if he is in 35 hours, he should work 7 hours a day. 7 hours a day. For the first day he works 7 hours. The second he works 7 hours. The third he works like 9 hours, and here he works 7. It means here we got 30 hours, okay? As he works only 30 hours instead of 35 hours. The 3 hours which are working here, they will not be increased to 25% or 50%. They will be 2 hours. It will be a normal hours, which will put them here. Okay, this is how it works. Or just overtime hours. The overtime hours will be added from column 12 to column 15. This part concerns the full-time work, and this part, the 12 and 13, will concern part-time work. Does the Excel workers have to be sent every month? Yes, every month you have to send the Excel file. although there is no information, because there is some customer without information, but you have to send, although the Excel file is empty, you have to send it. So no question. Can we send the Excel file to our payroll manager by email? Yes, of course. Yes, you can continue to send it by email. You were clear, Barbara. You were clear. Thank you. Then it is only used for absence management. What about extra hours? It is only used for absence management. What about extra hours? You are speaking about which, Diego, can you be more clear about your question, please? Absence management, what about the extra hours? Okay, you say okay. Okay, that's fine. I go to the next question. Hello, I would like to know what you mean with exceptional bonus. Is it in the event on an incentive bonus depending on performance? Okay, no. You see, for example, for performance bonus, you can add it in the column 10. Prime sur objectif. Bonus here. If it is like incentive bonus plan, as I told you, we can update this file to your needs. But the performance bonus, you can add it to the column 10. Okay, so do you have other question, or it's very clear for you? Okay, so I think I finished my presentation. Just to remind, in case of needs, in case you want to see something else, or you didn't understand how we works, you can ask your payroll manager. You can send email about the new procedure. We will help you, of course, to use the new procedures. So if you don't have other question, I will end this presentation. And thank you very much for your participation. We will send you the replay webinar as soon as possible. Thank you for your participation. Have a good day.